Have you ever dreamed of escaping to a pristine island paradise? White sandy beaches, crystal clear turquoise waters, a gentle breeze rustling through palm trees. For many of us, this is the ultimate fantasy. But what if I told you that these dream destinations are in danger of disappearing forever? Not in a distant, abstract future, but within our lifetimes. This isn't a sci-fi movie plot. It's the harsh reality for entire nations. Welcome to the Great Disappearing Act, where the stage is our planet, and the performers are islands threatened by rising sea levels. Today, we're embarking on a journey to the front lines of climate change. We'll visit the places most vulnerable to the rising tides, hear the stories of the people whose homes are literally being washed away, and uncover the science behind this alarming phenomenon. Why are sea levels rising? And what makes these islands so uniquely susceptible? The story begins with a simple truth. Our planet is warming up. As global temperatures increase, two major things happen. First, glaciers and ice sheets in places like Greenland and Antarctica melt at an unprecedented rate, pouring trillions of tons of water into our oceans. Second, as the ocean water itself warms, it expands, a process called thermal expansion. Think of it like a pot of water on the stove. As it heats up, its volume increases. These two factors combined are causing global mean sea level to rise, and the pace is accelerating. For large continents, a few millimeters of sea level rise each year might not sound like much, but for low-lying island nations, it's a direct, existential threat. Many of these islands, particularly atolls, barely rise a few feet above sea level. They are, in essence, geological sandcastles, built over millennia from coral reefs. They have very little natural defense against the encroaching ocean. It's a slow-motion crisis, but one with devastating consequences. Let's journey to our first destination, the Maldives. The Maldives, a stunning archipelago in the Indian Ocean, is famous for its luxurious over-water bungalows and vibrant coral reefs. It's a honeymooner's dream, but this paradise is living on borrowed time. It's the lowest-lying country on Earth, with an average ground level of just 1.5 meters. More than 80% of its land is less than 1 meter above sea level. Projections suggest that at the current rate of sea level rise, a significant portion of the Maldives could become uninhabitable by 2050, and the entire nation could be completely submerged by the end of the century. The government is already taking drastic measures, from building seawalls around key islands to exploring the radical idea of constructing floating cities. Imagine having to plan for the relocation of your entire country. This is the reality for the Maldivian people. Their culture, their history, their very identity is tied to these islands. Losing them means losing everything. Now, it's travel across the globe to the Pacific Ocean, home to a nation called Kiribati. Kiribati is a collection of 33 coral atolls and reef islands, scattered across an area of the ocean larger than India. Most of its population lives on the Tarawa Atoll, a narrow strip of land that is becoming increasingly crowded as people from outer islands are forced to move due to coastal erosion and water contamination. The rising sea doesn't just flood the land during high tides and storm surges. It seeps into the ground, contaminating the freshwater lenses, the precious underground pockets of drinkable water that these islands depend on. This process, called saltwater intrusion, makes it impossible to grow traditional crops like taro and breadfruit, leading to food shortages. The government of Kiribati has taken the unprecedented step of purchasing land in Fiji, nearly 2,000 kilometers away, as a potential new home for its people. They have a policy of migration with dignity, aiming to train their citizens with valuable skills so they can be welcomed as skilled migrants, not climate refugees. It's a heartbreaking, yet forward-thinking strategy for a nation facing erasure. Our next stop is Tuvalu, another Polynesian island nation in the Pacific. With a high point of just 4.5 meters above sea level, Tuvalu is often cited as one of the first countries that could be completely swallowed by the ocean. During king tides, the highest tides of the year, seawater bubbles up from the ground, flooding homes, roads, and airport runways. It's a surreal and terrifying sight. The saltwater poisons the soil where they grow their food and contaminates their drinking water. Tuvalu's foreign minister made headlines when he delivered a speech to the COP26 climate conference while standing knee-deep in the ocean to show the world what his country is facing every single day. Tuvalu is also pursuing a radical digital solution, creating a virtual version of itself in the metaverse. The idea is to preserve its culture, history, and government functions online, so that even if the physical land is lost, the nation of Tuvalu can continue to exist in the digital realm. It's a testament to their resilience, but also a stark admission of the catastrophic future they face. And this isn't just happening in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. In the Atlantic, the Carteret Islands, part of Papua New Guinea, are often called the world's first climate refugee hotspot. The inhabitants have been engaged in a gradual relocation to the mainland of Bougainville for over a decade. The rising seas have destroyed their gardens, swamped their homes, and made life on the atoll unsustainable. Their story is a sobering preview of what millions of people in coastal communities around the world might face in the coming decades. Closer to the United States, the Solomon Islands in the Pacific have already seen at least 5 of their reef islands completely vanish beneath the waves since the mid-20th century. Others have been severely eroded, forcing entire communities to relocate. This isn't a computer model or a future prediction. This is documented, observed loss. Land that once held homes and sacred sites is now just part of the ocean floor. The loss of these islands is more than just a loss of land. It's a profound ecological and cultural catastrophe. These islands are hotspots of biodiversity, home to unique ecosystems and species found nowhere else on Earth. Coral reefs, which protect the islands from wave erosion, are bleaching and dying due to warmer, more acidic waters. As the reefs die, the islands lose their primary defense, accelerating erosion. It's a vicious cycle, and with the land goes the culture. For thousands of years, island communities have developed rich traditions, languages, and a deep spiritual connection to their environment. Their identity is woven into the land and the sea. When the sea reclaims the land, it also erases a heritage. We're talking about the potential disappearance of entire member states of the United Nations. So, what can be done? Is this an inevitable tragedy? Not entirely. The fate of these islands rests in the hands of the global community. The single most important action is to drastically and rapidly reduce greenhouse gas emissions to slow the rate of global warming. This means transitioning away from fossil fuels to renewable energy, improving energy efficiency, and protecting our forests. It's a monumental task, but it's the only way to slow the melting of ice and the expansion of our oceans. Wealthier nations, which have historically contributed the most to climate change, also have a moral responsibility to support these vulnerable island nations. This includes providing funding for adaptation projects like building seawalls, restoring mangrove forests that act as natural barriers, developing rainwater harvesting systems, and supporting relocation efforts when necessary. On a personal level, it can feel overwhelming, but our individual choices, when multiplied by millions, can create a powerful ripple effect. We can reduce our own carbon footprint by being mindful of our energy consumption, transportation choices, and what we buy. We can support organizations that are working on the front lines of climate justice and advocacy. Most importantly, we can use our voices. We can educate ourselves and others, talk about this issue, and demand that our leaders take bold and decisive climate action. The people of Tuvalu, Kiribati, and the Maldives are not just passive victims. They are powerful advocates, shouting their story from the rooftops or, in some cases, from knee-deep in the ocean. They are reminding us that climate change isn't a distant problem for future generations. It's happening right now, to real people in real places. The disappearing islands are the canaries in the coal mine for our planet. Their struggle today is a warning of the future that awaits many other coastal communities around the world if we fail to act. Their fate is our fate. The next time you see a picture of a beautiful island paradise, remember the fragility that lies beneath its beauty. Let it be a call to action, a reminder that this vanishing paradise is worth fighting for. Let us work together to ensure that these vibrant cultures and beautiful islands don't just become a memory, a story we tell our grandchildren about the world we lost. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content that explores the critical issues shaping our world. And please, share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think we should do to help protect these island nations? Let's start the conversation.